Feel so young. Made me feel like spring is sprung. You don't remember it? Well, why don't you play that song? Someone I know. Okay.
So you guys obviously have a lot of stories. So when it comes to touring and it comes to being on the road, are any that are particularly, I don't know, hilarious or just worth telling?
Can we tell the one where we left you on the side of the road?
I would say, how graphic do you want us to be?
I don't care. We've gotten pretty graphic so far.
Another one that came to mind for me was the
Boston?
No, when we stayed at that place in Little Rock.
Oh,
No, that was it's
the
so
Saw
complicated.
venue.
Yeah, it was like the freaking Saw.
I like when we left you on the there's like so many. One time we lost him. One time we left him on the side of the road.
We called a promoter and told her we're going to be late because Keith pooped his pants.
That's a true story.
I actually did. This was in Ohio.
Let's go with that one.
Ohio.
Why is it always so
And he was driving at the time.
I was driving, and I
Gambled on a
I
flight.
literally had to call the promoter and say, we're going to be late because my drummer just crapped his pants. Like, I couldn't
in
lie to him.
Ohio.
It's always poop with us.
This episode will just be called Foo Fighters and Poop, a June divided story.
How about the Foo Fighters?
Pooh Fighters.
There you
Pooh
go.
Fighters.
One time we were coming back from
South by
South
Southwest.
by, and he had to pee, and we saw this sign that was like no rest stops for 70 miles or something like that. And we were like, uh-oh.
We just passed one actually, and then
Len's like, uh-oh, I gotta go. So we pull over, let him on the side of the road.
I was driving.
And so Keith thinks it'll be hilarious if we just start to pull away. So he just starts driving up the
Well, it was like a ditch that he went down into, so we couldn't actually see him. So he went like down into like the woods, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. Let me start driving away. So I start driving up the side of the
I
road.
guess about like 100 yards. So
Right.
All of a sudden, I see Lenny in the mirror. Like he comes back,
running.
and he's all of a sudden he starts.
Hey!
His hair's going like this, and I'm like, we're dying laughing. He's like running up. As soon as he gets to the side door,
I
all
was
of
like
a
10
sudden,
feet from the car.
the state trooper pulls up. Woo! I
We're
was like, oh
uh-oh.
man.
She was pissed.
It was a lady. She had
She was
big
mad.
glasses. She's like, excuse me, what are you doing?
No, she was like,
We're like dicking
what do you
around.
think you're doing? Like, she was yelling at me. Oh, man.
We're normally pretty well behaved other than that, but that was pretty funny. One time we
She
were
let us go.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and that's when you guys got arrested.
Well, she definitely ran all of our licenses, that's for sure.
One time we got pulled over because he's like the most responsible driver in the band, but he got pulled over because he was speeding because he was listening to a Steelers game. He was
You
Steelers.
know,
yeah,
Ohio.
they scored, and
Yeah.
I got
Right.
a little pedal heavy.
Yeah, he got really excited.
They scored. Time to do 90.
Yeah, that was in Ohio.
Lots
Nice.
of things.
Oh, man.
Well, so many things. There's
I had Boston.
I don't remember.
Did we tell
Keith,
Boston?
Keith partied a little hard.
Boston
on
in
That
general.
makes us look
Yeah.
irresponsible, but it,
But
we can-
leaving Lenny on
we
the
can
side of the road
obviously
isn't
do
your
this.
responsibility.
sure.
I had a little too much to drink, and I basically fell into the wall and threw up on my own pillow. Put my head face in my own throw up in my
Threw
pillow.
up on me.
We were,
Threw up on her.
we were in the living room playing a card game, drinking, and Keith like wandered off into the bedroom next door, and all of a sudden we just hear, in the wall, we just hear,
Boom. It was like on cue. I was like, where did Keith go? And they're like, I don't know.
we open the
Boom.
door up, and his forehead's just like, along the wall, and he's just puking down the wall. Oh my
God.
Mind you, I had a lot to drink, and it was the final drink that I drank. It was a pint glass of red wine mixed with vodka, mixed with whiskey, mixed with beer, and something else.
We're normally well behaved, I promise. This was just
It
this
was
one.
watermelon
He's a-
vodka. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a drummer. It's,
So,
you know.
so the glass is about this full, and it had everything: the red wine, the beer, the whiskey, and I had to choose one last thing to put in it. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm the man. I could drink this." And I grabbed the bottle of watermelon vodka, and I put this much watermelon vodka in there, which is probably about 4 shots or 5 shots. I filled it all the way up, mixed it around, I chugged it.
I mean, I'm impressed.
So he had
that you didn't die.
He had to drink that concoction because you ended up losing.
I
the
lost. It
game.
was
And I had
Mexican
lost the
Kings.
previous game.
Right.
So I was still sitting there drinking my concoction.
I
which
lost the
was
first game and I
relative.
still had mine.
So he chugged his thing and he was like, "Give me it." It took mine and then finished mine, and that's when I was just like, "Dude."
And I was fine at first. I was just like, oh, and then I was good. And then I just found myself wandering away, going into the bedroom.
He
I went
does
to-
these adventurous things. If you go on YouTube and search frog
Frog in mouth. I put a frog in my
June
mouth.
Divided, and Sound Mine. I think those are the two.
Yeah.
If you search, that's like us at the studio for like our first release, and
Right.
he put a live frog into his mouth.
I
Nice.
closed it, and then when I opened it, it hopped out.
So
gonna
he's
have to watch that.
he's the drummer. Yeah.
I'm the.
That's
But I'm also the smartest one in the band.
He's the astronaut.
Clearly, yeah, right.
I'm the astronaut.
He's our asteroid defense system.
Now, after hearing all these stories, you'd definitely trust me in space, right?
I would. I think you'd throw up on the spinning thing you train on.
Yep.
But, you know, I think you'd be an excellent astronaut.
So that was Boston.
So we. Yeah.
I had another question again, and then then he just tells stories, and suddenly it's like, man. Okay, no, I got it. So you guys are writing your new album right now, right? Or working on it, something?
Writing songs.
You have ideas in mind?
There will be an album, like in the future. Probably it'll be a release for like a smaller release from us first, whether that be a single and a music video or a couple songs. We're not sure yet.
Right.
But I would love to do an album. We're kind of changing things up for us. Our sound is a little different. We've changed.
Yeah, I was about to ask
things.
actually if there was anything you're trying to accomplish. With...
Yeah, definitely. I think when the band started, because this guy, he like started managing us and he was like, let's do this and let's do this. He was great. But we never actually had time to really work on a sound. It was just kind of like, oh, here's some songs. Oh, wow, we're on Warped Tour. Oh, okay, well, let's make a record for Warped Tour. Oh, here's the record. And so we worked really hard, but we didn't really get a chance to take our time and be creative. So some of our followers or fans have been like, it's taken so long. And we're like, yeah, I know. This is like the first time we've been able to be like, let's figure out what we really want to do here. So things are definitely changing a little bit for us. I forget where I was going with that. But yeah, so that's what's taking so long.
But it's nice that we can like take time to put more thought into it.
Right.
Yeah.
And figure out.
Just let the sound evolve.
And we don't want to put out something that we're not totally happy with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're like.
Well, because first and foremost, the music's for you guys. You know, something you're happy making. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. We wouldn't want our fans to be unhappy, but I don't think we didn't do like a total 180. But there's definitely like some changes. But I mean, it's still us, and it's been like really tough. It's been a tough balance trying to like find new ways to do things and like be happy with it. And you know, you get older, your tastes change and things change, and it's kind of hard. But I've really liked the challenge of like it's kind of fun trying to make it all work. And I feel like we're kind of ready to start settling in on this new thing and like everything. So I'm excited for that.
No, that's cool. I know you had mentioned though that being a female lead singer, a lot of people in the industry tend to just lump you guys together with other bands that have female lead singers, even if it sounds nothing alike, which is ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah,
but
it's a shame. And then it does play a part in when I'm thinking about new stuff, and it's a shame. It's hard to ignore, you know.
My son is taking a bath. If you hear anything in the background, people viewing. He's a little rock and roll baby. Yeah, there he is. Anyway.
He doesn't like female friend either.
Yeah, I think like that's. But he didn't use it. That's why I like him.
What wasn't it?
You didn't. The word I can't stand, and some people will fight me on this, but I can't stand the term female fronted, and you didn't use it. You just said by being a female. I hate when people use it as like a
category.
It's
not
so funny. Yeah. It's actually like mind blowing. So I'm like, it's really wrong. And we've on music blogs. Like I remember one music blog, like it had like there's a punk category and a pop punk category and a alt rock category and an indie category, and then there was a female fronted category, and each little category had like a little logo.
Right.
And ours was a skull with a bow on it.
It just reinforces how, especially the music industry, is very much a boys' club, and it's a terrible, terrible paradigm to even have. See, I don't think
changing,
of it.
Though.
It's definitely changing with a lot of the smaller companies. But when you think of the majors and whatnot,
it's a struggle, but it's changing. And I teach music, so I'm lucky enough to see, and I teach at like a rock school, and I'm lucky enough to see like younger kids, girls and boys, playing every instrument together. It's not like all the girls do it. Like everyone, there's girl drummers and there's boy drummers, and they all respect each other.
Right.
And it's not my favorite thing about it is that gender isn't a thing.
Right.
It's not. It doesn't. I don't even think it crosses their mind. You know what I mean? Besides like the flirting because they're high school kids, but like it doesn't cross their mind as far as their ability. I like so many times I get, oh, most girls aren't good at guitar, but you're good. I'm like, that's not a compliment. That's a shitty thing to say.
Yeah, a band shouldn't be defined by gender,
I'm
honestly.
like, what girls are you hanging out with? I've seen amazing players. Well, I don't know,
I think the one thing that gets me with it is that when we get a message from somebody. It's like, hey, we're this band, and we think we'd fit great together on a bill. And you go and listen to them, and they're folk, but
Right.
they have a...
And the message is we're female fronted, so we should play a show
Exactly,
together.
and we fit great together. And it's like...
I mean, I'll admit, back when I was booking shows, I was guilty of trying to put a show together with a bunch of...
Women.
Well, it was a bunch of bands that had females as their lead singer, but they were all hard rock bands. They all fit the same genre. I just thought it would be a cool little thing to have
It's
that
cool when
showcase.
it's not intentional. When I end up on a bill with some really talented chicks.
Well, I'll add a disclaimer.
Yeah.
It wasn't on purpose. It was
Okay.
just they were all really cool bands I'd listened to, and I thought, oh, look at that.
if it's not intentional and it's like, hey, I wanted to book this band because they're awesome, and I want to book this band because they're awesome, then I'm like the happiest person. I'm like, hell yeah, this girl's awesome, and like the band is awesome, and whatever. But when it's intentional, when someone approaches me with like Chick Fest, I'm like,
No, that's, yeah.
the intention is good, but I feel like it's a misguided effort to.
Well, I can promise you guys are on this couch right now because I think you're awesome. These
We're okay.
camera guy and sound guy, Kenny and Dom over here, could tell you because we have a group chat going, and I kept being like, watch the music video, watch all this stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I feel like one day gender isn't really gonna matter at all. Like no one's gonna give a crap. No one's gonna mention it. One day in the entertainment industry, it's not gonna matter, and that's our goal. That's a goal.
Hey.
I didn't give a shit about it either. Yeah, I was so done after.
That's cool.
I really hated the track that they kept letting, that they kept leaking, Get Out or whatever. I liked the initially like the other one.
That's my thing, not get what
How this song?
I got the words on. Everyone can see what I have felt. And I know the words. Everyone can find this in back there. Anyway, it's a lie. You kiss with open eyes. And she's not breathing back. Anything but bothering me takes my pain away. Never mind. These are hard times. I can't let it bother me. Takes my pain away. Never thought I'd walk away from this. I don't even know if that's right. There you go.
I should have got my hair cut before I came. I love you.